Hi everyone, and happy Sunday or Saturday, wherever you are in the world. As you may have seen before, every week I've been hosting my series of guest experts called Show Up, Speak Up. And this week we've got another expert from a different field of the health and wellness. And we've got a lovely, lovely woman called Sharon, who's from Pride Integrated Health Clinic. I'm so excited to talk to Sharon because Sharon's a qualified naturopath. So our first naturopath to have on the series. So a little bit different to what we've had before. And a bit about Sharon. She's completed her Bachelor of Health Science a couple of years ago in Naturopathy and has basically been working to empower her clients through holistic health ever since. And she's got a particular passion for supporting those with anxiety and depression and also kind of the stress, adrenal fatigue type facets. So this is going to be a really interesting episode, and I think something that a lot of people are struggling with, especially right now, given the circumstances. So what I'm going to do is I will invite Sharon on. So just bear with, as always, with our technology in Australia. So if anyone's got any questions as we go, please feel free to ask away. A moment. Hello.
Hi. Hi, we got it working. That was pretty quick, actually.
I know, it's always something that happens.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to turn you up a little bit. There we go.
Perfect. No, thank you so much for sparing your time and coming on
Thank
here.
you. Thanks for inviting me on.
It's amazing. But yeah, like I said, you're our first naturopath, so this is a little bit different.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really, really going to be interesting to talk to you about. But firstly, would you just like to kind of introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your story? Because like I've said in the past, everyone's got, their own history and their own past and the reasons for why they do what they do. So that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Mine's a little bit of a heartfelt one, actually. So I was about 25. I had a major road accident, and I didn't walk for, I think, a year and a half in the end. But I was going through all the medical models and not having any success with that. And I went to a naturopath myself. And it was the first time that anyone actually taught me what my body needed to heal. So not only that, I'd had tonsillitis for 9 months in a row, antibiotics not working. Obviously, after a traumatic accident, really quite high anxiety all the time, just being in that flight or fight response. So yeah, the naturopath that I went and saw really inspired me to look at things more holistically, and she actually became my mentor in the end. And I worked with her for a very long time, just learning about the field, and then I went and did my Bachelor in Health Science. But unfortunately, she passed away a couple of years ago, and so it's left a really big mentor gap. But I feel like I'm carrying on the candle and really passing on what she provided for me during that time, and it's just such an honor to work with people and really help them to be self-aware and work through, sometimes we can't actually see what those underlying drivers are to stress and anxiety. And she basically taught me that my body was sitting in a state of being prepared for trauma, so that anxiety was kind of sitting at this level that I would never feel shock again. So she really helped me to get to those underlying causes, and I think to be able to pass that on to other people is just an absolute honor. And so that's a bit of my story of how I became naturopath, and I'm loving it. And now I look at things so holistically. I've actually brought on new practitioners in the last couple of weeks in different modalities, and I think just working together as a team is going to be so amazing to support our clients and really help people get to the bottom of all the root causes of their health concerns, and that could be spiritual, emotional, mental health, or even environmental. So yeah, that's a bit about me and my business, and also a little bit of a focus on the LGBT community, because health outcomes are just so low and people don't access preventative healthcare enough, I think, particularly in that community, and I really identify with that. So that's a big part for me of empowering better health outcomes. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I love how you talk about the root causes, because I'm all about, getting right to those like real core issues which are causing everything. Because,
Definitely.
it's way too common for society to force us to like just keep putting band-aids on stuff, medication,
Definitely.
like following diet plans, weight loss, all that kind of thing is
Yeah,
literally, it's all just like surface level symptom based, right? And
definitely.
we're just
And I
forced
think
it as
I think
well.
the beautiful thing about naturopathy as well is, for example, if you're a very anxious person, not only can we help you to have a little bit of relief from that symptomatically with using herbal medicine and stuff, but we also help you dive to that deeper level while you've got that space to actually explore what's going on. So it's not that we just get to the root causes either. We can actually provide that symptomatic relief along the way, which is just really special. And also with herbal medicine, if someone comes to us with, say, adrenal fatigue, arthritis, pain, or any other ailment, we can do herbal mixes that have it all in one. So it's really just tailored to what everybody needs, and so personalized and person centered, and we always set goals that people can achieve. So it's not, unrealistic long term. That's all you're looking at. It's step by step, and really looking at how people can best comply with getting back to better health.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's, I guess, I suppose anxiety and stress and all those type of things, that must be quite common right now, especially,
It's huge. It's
generation.
really huge. And I think as well, adrenal fatigue actually gets mislabeled as depression sometimes. So what happens is, if you're stressed for a really long time, you're in that sympathetic nervous system response, and your body keeps you at that level for a certain amount of time, and then you're flat because you've got no cortisol left to have that response. So
Yeah.
then you just feel flat, and your energy is low, and your mood will be low, but really the driver of that was long-term stress. So yeah, I think it's quite misunderstood a lot of the time. And before that adrenal fatigue, there's the anxiety and the stress response that goes with that. And if you can get to it at that point, you move to the next bit. So I think it's really important that people just recognize that sometimes it's not just depression, and it's not just
Yeah.
stress, like it's moved to a different realm.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's quite a rarity to think about anxiety as in terms of something going on in the body and stress. Like you said, it could be adrenal fatigue. It could be some mechanism in the body that's kind of gone out of balance, rather
Yeah.
than just kind of just being a mental thing. There's a massive
Yes.
connection, right?
I think the first sign to look out for, have you heard of tired but wired?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
But
so
I like
basically
it.
it's when you feel exhausted but you're on edge.
Yeah.
And that would be your first signs of adrenal fatigue kicking
Uh-huh.
in, because your body's in that stress response still, but you don't have the energy to keep sustaining that stress response. So that's really interesting. But I think as well, especially at the moment, people are just feeling stressed. There's a collective trauma
Yeah.
in society at the moment. And I think, I don't know, even for me, sometimes I have feelings with the situation that we're in. And then I don't validate it enough because everybody's feeling it. But it's valid, and we're all entitled to have our own response and work through our own response. And if we're doing that for ourselves, we're all the better to help the people around us as well.
Yeah, it's true. Some days I wake up at the moment with extreme anxiety, and it feels like it comes out of nowhere. And that's the
Yes.
thing. But actually, if you start to like pick it apart and, reflect on the last couple of days or weeks, there's normally, like you
Yes.
said, there's a reason for it. But at the time, you can just wake up with it. That's
Mm.
how I feel quite a lot. And a lot of my clients say that, you just wake up in this state, which
Yes.
feels out of your control.
Yeah. And I think we can't discount not having, I mean, for those of us that live on our own, or even with people that we don't have close relationships with, or whatever the situation, we don't underestimate the power of touch and the energy of being with someone, because
Yeah.
that's really what we're missing, I think. And yes, we can have videos like this, and we can have Zoom calls and group things, but that energy of sitting with someone and holding space, we're entitled to miss that.
Yeah.
And I think that brings about anxiety that people can't necessarily pinpoint as to where it's coming from.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't think we recognize enough how much just sitting with someone, having a cuppa, or a chat, and, just sharing that energetic space with each other is really powerful, and we're not having that. at the moment. So it's actually okay not to be okay, but we can do things to support ourselves through it.
Yeah, and I think, we don't realize the impact that just being with people has until it's taken away. And I guess none of us have
That's right.
experienced this before. So it's like a completely new realm, which again is stressful in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people live on their own, and a lot of
Yeah.
people, even if you have children, I'm a single mum, and yes, I've got my daughter here, but it's not the same as sitting with a friend,
Yeah.
and really, just even sitting in silence sometimes is a beautiful thing to do with someone, and hopefully we can get back to that soon. Are you in Melbourne? No, you're not in Melbourne, are you?
I'm in Sydney, so
That's right.
I really feel for you guys.
Yes. I think the second time round is, um, we know that we can do it,
Yeah.
but it's really disheartening. And I think a lot of people probably are going to go to flat rather than anxious this time, I think.
Yeah, I've heard that actually quite a bit from a few people I
Mm.
know in Melbourne. They're like, just a bit like despair. Like, oh,
Yes.
again, oh, like
Yeah.
you know you can do it, but having to go through it again, like, it's
Yes.
like you not kind of know what's going to come, whereas before there's no
Yeah.
expectation because you don't know what's going to happen. But
Right. But I think I'm hoping that people are better at reaching out for support and help this
yeah,
time. I think that will be the difference as well. And people know where to go now. There's
yeah,
so many places out there, just making sure that everyone knows that there's a space to be held for them, whether on the phone or a video call or care packages, whatever it might be. I think that's really, more well known this time, which is
yeah,
good.
for sure.
Yeah.
And if we kind of go to talk about the anxiety and the stress type of problems, if someone
Mhm.
comes to you presenting this, like what's your kind of first steps that you would take with them? Is there any kind of key pieces of advice you would suggest for people that might be going through that right now?
Sure. I think, and a lot of people know about meditation and practicing gratitude. And I've had times that I've tried to be practicing gratitude and it's been really hard to start with. And I think, we think about things that we should be grateful for as big things, but they're the small things. So probably being really grateful for the small things, recognizing the new flowers in your garden or whatever it might be, starting with the small things actually by recognizing all of them makes us feel like we're not as stressed and that there are beautiful things in life. And even in lockdown, there's beauty to be found and new connections. And so that would be a big part of it. Meditation, obviously, would be one of them. I think it's really important to get back in touch with yourself, and especially with everything that's in the media, just to make sure that you're having that time to switch off. And I think meditation is, for those of you out there that haven't done it before, a lot of people feel anxiety and stress in their breathing and in their chest. Some of the meditations can actually make that worse. So if you're trying to do a meditation that's about focusing on your breathing
Yeah.
and you are short of breath from your stress, sometimes that can actually trigger it to be worse. So I really love the body scan meditations. It actually makes you acknowledge different parts of your body and goes through everything until you're feeling your whole body as one. So it just takes that focus away from the point that you are feeling your anxiety. So if you feel it
Yeah.
like that, that's a really good one to do. But my go-to would be herbs, just to give that symptomatic relief. So what are my favorites?
Okay, how
Passion
do
flower.
herbs work? How does that impact the
Okay.
body?
What's a good example of one? Passion flower and lemon balm. So there's a neurotransmitter called GABA. That's the short term word, the abbreviation.
It's not very long.
Basically, when you are stressed or in that anxiety state, you have less GABA, which is your relaxation neurotransmitter,
Okay.
and it's taken over by a different one that just skyrockets. So these particular herbs actually help your body to increase that neurotransmitter that gives that more relaxing feeling. Magnesium is a really good one too. So magnesium is used in the muscles, not as a herb, obviously, as a nutrient. Magnesium is used in muscle relaxation. So when your muscles contract, to be able to relax off properly, they need magnesium for that mechanism to happen. So
Okay.
basically, you don't have to be deficient in magnesium to use magnesium as a therapeutic nutrient, because it actually forces your muscles to relax off if you use it at a high dose.
Ah, okay. Is
So
that used for like motility and things for the gut as well? Do you use
say that
magnesium?
again.
Have you used magnesium for like gut health and gut motility?
Definitely, definitely,
That's
yes,
all I've heard
definitely.
it used for.
So it does, again, and muscles are obviously right through your digestive system as well. So
Mm,
relaxing those off will help movement. But in the old school naturopath days, they used to prescribe magnesium and take it at a high dose and keep going until you actually were urgently going to the toilet. And then you'd back it off because that's how much your body needs. But I tend to not do it like that anymore because I don't think it's very nice for people. Um, but yeah, it's definitely helps with all of that. And so many people actually feel their stress in their digestive system.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely. So there's particular probiotics for that as well. It is a long name. It's Lactobacillus plantarum, which is a strain of probiotic that that can just help regulate the digestive system. Yeah, whether you're having urgency or the other way.
Yeah.
But the go-to herbs would be passion flower, lemon balm. Withania is beautiful. So withania I like to describe as one that how do I put it? It actually just helps you to adapt to situations. So instead of like being like urgently like
Yeah.
battling things, it just gives you that flow. And although there might be stress and things going on, it just helps you kind of be fluid through them. So that's a really beautiful herb. Zinc and B6 is definitely important for the stress response.
Mm,
What else would I go to as my? They would be
top.
my immediate prescriptions, and then it would be a matter of working on the emotional side of it. Flower
Yeah.
essence is really beautiful for the emotional response to stress because there's always an underlying emotion. So, as we
Mm,
know, anxiety is really fear based.
yeah.
Stress can be a trigger for anxiety, of course. So, and as well, just calming the thinking and calming the mind and not going to worst case scenarios. But I think, yeah,
Mm,
it's just really important to be working on those underlying drivers while we're giving some symptomatic relief.
yeah. How long do the herbal medicine take to work typically? Is it a long-term thing you would take them for, or?
Not necessarily. There's certain products that you can use. I don't know, say if you were about to go into a situation that you knew you were going to find stressful, you could use them then. They would work pretty quickly. Um, the nutrients side of things might take a little while, but
Mm.
the herbs definitely a pretty immediate
Wow,
response.
so
Yeah,
effective.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And for like the adrenal fatigue side of things, you mentioned kind of working on lifestyle changes and nutrition. Are there any
Mm.
like key bits of nutrition advice you could give to someone who's going through anxiety and stress and all that?
Yeah, definitely. So your B's are really important. I'd actually have a handout if anybody wanted it on foods, like a full list of foods that people can
Yeah,
use when they're in that anxiety or that low mood response, because there
yeah,
are the
send that across to me and share that for sure.
yeah,
That'd be good.
definitely. So it's particularly zinc and B6.
Okay.
So I guess to get an understanding of the full, it's at a bio nutrient level, but it's each response in the body needs certain nutrients to happen. So it's about providing your body with those nutrients. So yeah, you definitely need a list of, but definitely foods. Foods are a really good way to go. But if you want that therapeutic response, supplementing is a good way to do it
Yeah,
in the meantime.
awesome. That
So I'm
sounds.
just trying to think what's on my list of foods.
I guess
Turkey.
everyone's
So if
different,
it
aren't they? Everyone's got their own stuff going on. The body's
definitely.
response is different, so I know it's quite a difficult question to
Mm.
answer.
I think so melatonin is your
Mhm.
sleep hormone. Generally, people that are having stress and anxiety will have that affected.
Yeah,
If you're not vegetarian, turkey is a really good one to go for because it's got a high amount of tryptophan that is used to make melatonin.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, there's quite a few foods that have the nutrients in it that you need to start that response for sleep as well.
yeah. That's so, especially at the moment as well. I know a lot of people
Mm.
who sleep. It's like
And
a
we're
knock
all out of
effect,
routine.
isn't it?
I think we're all out of routine as well. You know, a
Yeah,
lot of people are going, well, I don't have to get up super early tomorrow to travel into work, so I'll stay up a bit later, but then not sleeping effectively because they're on
yeah,
screens or computers or whatever it might be.
yeah. It feels like a lot of people, and including myself, you just get a bit out of balance. everything, like you say, you not following your normal routine, and that in itself has a massive impact mentally and
Yeah,
physically, isn't it?
definitely. I would be surprised if you could speak to anybody that doesn't have stress or anxiety at the moment.
Yeah.
I think some people are really good at self-awareness, and I think that is one of the keys as well, is to be witness to yourself and really recognize, okay, that triggered me and why, and just taking the time to actually delve into that a little bit. And that is going to be your key to not having to use medications or herbs or whatever it might be to actually start regulating yourself, because we don't often, I think we're too quick, and especially the lifestyles that we all lived before COVID, it's just, push that down and get on with the next thing, push that down and get on with the next thing. But we never actually stop to unpack every emotional or mental response we have to something through the day.
Yeah.
And I think
I do that a lot as well.
Yeah, blessing yourself with the time to do that is going to be key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't feel like that's a priority for them, which is really important as well. This never-ending to-do list. Got to do all of this, so my needs are right at the bottom. That's what I see very, very often. But it's actually acknowledging that we need that time, especially right now when so much is going on. Have to give ourselves that time, for our health and for our whole well-being.
Yeah, and I think and part of my working with someone is always helping them to recognize that looking after themselves is not selfish.
Yeah.
Looking after themselves is actually looking after the people that love them as well, because if we're not okay, then we're not okay to be there for them. So whether it's you're a mum or you're caring for someone or whatever it might be, you are doing them a justice by looking after yourself too. So it's actually the most selfless thing that you can do, is to look after yourself.
It's a perfect.
And you're worth it. You're worthy of caring for yourself and reaching out for the things that you need.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
People need to hear this. And you said about your clinic, you've just brought on some new practitioners who
I have. So I really wanted to provide a space that people can access preventative healthcare measures, and also for chronic and acute health management from a holistic perspective. Who have I taken on? I've got nutritionists, a counsellor, an acupuncturist, and I'm just taking on an energy healer, which she'll be really exciting to have on. She does kinesiology and Reiki, and it's just growing, so I'm really excited. I think my aim will be to have, and most people can do online, which is really great, except for acupuncture, of course. That's a bit difficult. But my goal is to have somebody in each main city in Australia to be able to provide that holistic health. And I think it'll get there pretty quick. So that's exciting.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
It
Even
is.
to come out of this period with all of that,
I think it's actually given me the space to really focus on building that and creating new networks and connections, and getting the message out there that even though we're in lockdown, even though we're in financial stress, we can work on ourselves and we can work on our health, and it's the perfect time to do it. And for me personally, as a naturopath, I won't speak for my other practitioners, but if someone came to me and said, I lost my job because of COVID, but I've got these health issues, I'm more than happy to make payment plans or reduced, payments for people that are on benefits or JobKeeper or whatever it might be at the moment, because I want people to actually have access to that and not feel like anything's stopping them.
Yeah.
Because it's the perfect time to do it.
And it often is that financial aspect. So that's awesome.
I think that's another thing as well. There's a really big misconception that naturopathy can be really expensive, and unfortunately I think there are some people out there that will charge an arm and a leg, and then you've got supplements on top of it. But for me, one of my first questions is, what are people's budget? What can they contribute to their health without stressing out their finances and comfortably do? And if someone, for example, doesn't have any money for supplements at all, I'll do it through food. So it'll be actually making sure that they're getting all the nutrients that they need to address whatever health issue is going on. So it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah, I think that's an important message for sure. There's that flexibility. So where's the best place to find you? How could people reach out? And have
Thank
you got
you.
anything going on at
So
the
we've got a website, which is withpride.com.au, Instagram, Facebook. But if anyone's got any questions, I'm so happy to answer them. You know, if someone's at the shop and they want to know which probiotic to choose and why, I'm so happy to take a quick message on the inbox on Facebook or Instagram, whatever that might be. And look, sometimes I will need to ask questions because I can't advise to prescribe something if I don't know.
Not the mind reader.
Stuff. But yeah, I'm so open to answering questions, and yeah, feel free to pop over and have a chat, and even tell us what you want to hear more about.
Yeah, that's such a nice thing. Yeah, and sometimes it is just a little question or a little worry that can easily put to rest. So
yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people listening will definitely appreciate that offer. But yeah, I'll share kind of all your links and everything.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
So people can find you.
Thanks.
But
And also the handout for all the particular foods, because I'm having a bit of a brain fail today. I'm happy to provide you with the PDF, and then you can share it to anyone that wants to ask for it. And it's got lifestyle on there, it's got foods, and it's got the nutrients that you need to really start unpacking and giving your body what it needs to start relaxing off a little bit.
That to this episode so people can have a look at that. So
awesome.
thank you for that.
That'd be fantastic
as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I've loved chatting with you, and like I said, even for you, if you have questions, feel free to send them over. And and if you see a theme, actually I was going to say to you, if you see a theme of what people are needing at the moment and it's very specific, like for example that handout, I'm more than happy to do a talk with you on specific ailments that people are experiencing at the moment, and talking about how to work through it.
100%. Yeah, we'll definitely keep connected. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing so much. Like, there's so much more we could talk about. We could go on all day. But yeah, I'll share everything so they can find you, and we'll definitely do something again.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.